I would like you all to imagine for a moment being 18 years old and you're just starting your first year in college. You find out that your father has hepatitis C. Hepatitis C is an infectious disease that attacks your liver. The doctors immediately start him on a round of treatment to treat the hepatitis C. The problem is the medication also attacks the liver. So about 18 years, or not 18 years, I'm sorry, about 8 years in the treatment, you find out that not only does he have hepatitis C, but he now has liver cancer. It becomes crucial that he receives a new liver or he will die. The problem is so many people die every single day waiting for an organ because there are far too few people who are willing to be organ donors. But the praying, the hope, and the wait begins. You watch your father go through a series of testing over and over again to make sure there's no change in his health, and also to make sure that if that day does come, that he is healthy enough to just survive the surgery alone. In the meantime, you fight with yourself mentally, just knowing that you're waiting for another person to die so that way your father can live. But he is your father, and he has young grandbabies that he needs to be there for. The moment that call comes in, it's as if time stands still. You cry tears of sadness for the family that just lost a loved one, and tears of joy for your own. I asked my father to tell me his thoughts and his emotions that day the call came in. He said, quote, "At first I was terrified. I was scared, and I couldn't sleep. I thought my life was over, and I had been waiting to die for a year now. But when that call came in, I said, wow, I actually do have a future." When I actually got to the hospital, I was more relaxed and calm than I imagined I would be. I was not worried at all. I knew I would be okay. After my transplant, I remember lying in bed wondering to myself, why me? Why did I receive this liver and not somebody else? Amazingly, I actually have a cousin just a month later who also received a liver transplant. She was only 25 at the time, and I asked her if she could share her thoughts and emotions also. And she said, quote, "When I got the call, I think I was mostly in shock. I couldn't believe it was actually time. I also remember being sad because somewhere someone else was crying because they lost their loved one. I have always felt that organ donation was a wonderful thing to do. Why not help others as you pass on? It's always nice to see something good come out of something bad." Unquote. Now let's turn the tables for a moment. Imagine being on the other side. You just find out that your loved one is brain dead. There's nothing they can do. There's no hope. And the only thing keeping them alive is a machine. Now, the doctors are going to ask you, have you talked about organ donation and what's your thoughts on this? And it may be up to you to decide if they have not already chosen to be a donor. This isn't a topic that people usually talk about around the dinner table. I actually found a tribute from my mother on www.donormemorial.com, and for her answer, it was clear what needed to be done when she found out that her 20-year-old son was brain dead. She said, quote, "He had talked often about being an organ donor if anything happened, but he took the extra steps and put it on his license. When we were advised that Edwin had been brain dead, I immediately informed the staff of his desires, which they already knew because of him registering to be an organ donor. It amazes me that even in his death, he continued to minister to the needs of the others. His father, brother, and I love him deeply and dearly, and we miss him so much. However, we are glad to know that because of him, 3 other families are not going through the same pain of losing a loved one as us. This brings us such peace, and may God bless you all." It's important that we become organ donors. There are way too many people, young, old, male and female, that die every single day waiting for an organ. Far too few organ donors. according to www.unos.org, right now, today, there's over 115,000 people waiting for an organ. And most of those will die before they ever receive one. If you choose to be an organ donor, you alone can help save and improve the life of up to 50 other people. Plus, many families find comfort in knowing that although their loved one is no longer here, that they helped another family that helps them cope with their loss. Now, this is especially important if you belong to a minority, so the African American, Asian, Pacific Islanders, Native American, and Hispanic are more likely than whites to have have chronic conditions that affect the kidneys, heart, lungs, pancreas, and liver. Now, the problem is most people aren't properly educated on organ donation. There's a lot of common misconceptions out there. And when talking to my friends and family for this speech, I found out that the number one misconception is, what if I'm not actually dead? Are they going to just let me die so that way they can take my organs? Well, the answer is no. They actually do more testing on an organ donor to make sure there is no hope for recovery than they do on someone who's a non-organ donor. Another question that I come across is, are the doctors going to treat me the same? Or are they going to try as hard to save my life? And the answer is, they don't look at whether you're an organ donor or not. The doctor who's going to treat you when you go in for an emergency, they're going to be a doctor who's most closely specialized in your emergency. They're not going to be there. They would not be the ones doing the transplant at all. They have absolutely nothing to do with that. And, of course, we see this on TV. So another misconception is the rich and famous. They just get moved up the list. They have the money. They're famous. The truth is, it's not true. The UNOS, which is the United Network for Organ Sharing, actually does audits to prevent this from happening. They make sure that anybody on the list does not get moved up just because of who they are. And it may seem that way just because there's more publicity around a famous person getting a transplant than there is just any of us in the room. There's also religious reasons. Maybe you think that it's against your religion, but the truth is, organ donation is consistent with the beliefs of almost every religion. This includes Catholicism, Protestantism, Islam, and most branches of Judaism. If you're unsure, you can ask your clergy. You can even go to organdonor.gov, and it'll list by denomination in those beliefs. Once you make the decision to be an organ donor, it's very easy to make it official and make it easier on your family members if that time comes. You can, number one, register with your state's donor registry at www.organdonor.gov. Number two, designate it on your driver's license. The next time you go to renew, just check that box. Yes, I want to be an organ donor. Number three, you can sign and carry a donor card. This can also be found at organdonor.gov. It is also important to let your family members know that you want to be an organ donor because it may come down to them giving their consent. Now, usually if you're already registered, this is not necessary. But just in case you miss one of the steps, it's good to let them know that you do want to be an organ donor. So please, everybody, it is very important that we remember there's over 115,000 people right now waiting for an organ transplant. And you, alone, each one of you in this room, would be able to help save or improve the lives of over 50 other people. Quote, "Death leaves a heartache no one can heal, and love leaves a memory no one can steal." Unquote.